Hey, 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 what's going on, everybody? Y'all know what time it is. It is 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, which means we are now on Book Talk Live. And today, just like every other day, I have a very, very special guest. Um, she is a first-time author, but not just a first-time author. She is a #1 best-selling Amazon author.
Whoop,
Miss
whoop.
Carolyn Winn. How are you doing today?
I am doing amazing, amazing, amazing. How are you doing today?
I am good. I can't complain. I can't complain. So I know for people who are just tuning in, and if you need to, you can go ahead and share that you're live now. I see a few people joining us, but um, I know for people who are just tuning in, they are okay. Your screen just went away, so it looks like I'm here by myself.
Oh no, it's just what I
Um,
said. I'm
yeah. So for people who are just joining us, let me give y'all a better introduction of who um my guest is today. Um, Guest today is Miss Carolyn Wynn Robinson. She has an amazing, phenomenal story. So if you're just now tuning in, you probably see this amazing smile that's lighting up the room and this glow on her. But what you don't know is the story behind the unmasked miracle. So, Miss Carolyn, tell us a little bit about yourself. Give the people a little bit of background into your story.
Hello, everybody. It is Carolyn Wynn Robinson. A little background about my story, The Unmasked Miracle. Wow, guys. First of all, I never would have thought that I would actually be here today. I have truly, truly, truly made history. Have you ever had anybody to tell you that you would never amount to anything? Have you ever heard anybody tell you you're not gonna make it? As a kid, I believed those things. I had a mother who loved me, but her words that she said and the things that she did, man, just made me thought differently. I was a kid, in school who was bullied. Um, I've had 80 plus surgeries, y'all.
Wow.
80 plus. I had people to talk about, I talk like a mouse. People said I had a biscuit stuck in my throat because I ate a lot of biscuits. My mom made those homemade biscuits that literally melted your mouth. They were actually better than Popeyes. But, as a kid, I went through, what would you call it? I went through a lot. I went through rejection. I felt like I was being rejected by my mother and my father. I went through bullying, like I said. I went through abuse. Hearing like my mother tell me I wasn't pretty.
Mm.
I was ugly. You know, I was told that I was the ugly duckling. You know, um, I wasn't able to embrace myself just to see how beautiful I was. It took me a long time to see that I was beautiful. It took me a long time to actually become that butterfly. You know, um, the I talk about the experience of being beaten, being abused as a kid. You
Mm.
know, with an extension cord. Having someone to literally draw the blood from your skin, when you do something. I don't know how many of you back in the day, you had to go and take food stamps. Remember when they had that book and they had
I
the different
remember.
colors? my job my job was actually going to the store to get change for 25 cents and bring the money back. I think we were the one who broke the bank. So they had to have, they actually had to, come with the card. But the experience was being hit in the throat. My mother was like Michael Jackson's father. My mom, so my sister, her sisters, they had a singing group, and my mom was the type of person that we all had to sing.
Yeah.
Can I sing? Yes. Do I like singing? No.
I don't know.
Why? Because of my experience and what I dealt with. Um, all of the vocal surgeries. After the surgery, my voice wasn't able to rest like it needed to. And then when I wasn't in key, she would literally chop me in my throat because I wasn't in the right key.
Oh Lord.
The emotion of it, having so many surgeries, you get tired of having so many surgeries. You get tired of hearing people ask you what's wrong with your voice. You don't want to live anymore. I tried to commit suicide 14 times.
No.
Yes, 14. 14, but every time my mom would call my name, Carolyn, and I'm like, okay, here she is again. And one time she actually caught me. I was like, you know what, I'm just sick of this. I just want to take my life. She don't care. She calls me ugly. My dad doesn't really care because he don't know if I'm his child or if I am. I just said I was going to take a knife and I was just going to end it.
Yeah.
So I get ready to take the knife, and I'm like, I just want her to see my hot blood on the ground. She comes in, what are you doing? She get on her knees and she takes the knife and she's literally getting my face and she tells me, let me help you. Who says that to a kid?
No.
Yes. So the emotion of that was like, I'm tired of being abused. I'm tired of, hearing that I'm ugly. Like people would tell my oldest sister, oh, you're pretty, because she was light skinned and I guess light skin was in. My sister never said to me, you're pretty or anything like that. I actually heard, them telling that my oldest sister that she was pretty. I didn't like her. And I actually told her that I didn't like her.
That's horrible.
But I mean, today, I literally love my sister. We have a great relationship. And she's trying to understand, well, she was basically trying to help me to know that, you know what, Carolyn, even though you were called the ugly duckling, you turned into a beautiful swan. And it took me a long time to actually realize that.
Yeah.
And the victory from it, the name of the book is The Unmasked Miracle, the experience, the emotion, and the victory. And the victory from that is to be able to tell my story, because everything that you go through is not, it's about you, but your pain that you go through is not for you. It's basically for somebody else. So I'm at a point in my life, and man, I experienced that on yesterday at the launch party, that this is what God has me, to do. And I'm excited to be number one. I made history yesterday. This time last year, I wasn't here. And just to be able to, just to show people who are doubting that you can do it. A country girl like me from Winsboro, Louisiana, if I can do it, you can do it. Just to get people to be transparent and talk about the things that could be hurting them. I have a saying that's transparency is the new healing. And that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. It is. So let me catch the people who are just tuning in up on the story. So you have been through over 80 surgeries on your vocal cords, which it's a testament that you are even talking right now.
Yes.
As a child, you were abused. And when you say, like Joe Jackson, I don't know if I call that abuse, because Michael Jackson ended up selling over 50 million records. But but you were abused. You said you were bullied. You were called the ugly duckling. And as people can see, looking at you now, you have an amazing testimony, an amazing story, and you are in that position of triumph. You're no longer, somebody yesterday said, you're a survivor. And we say, no, there is no
No, I'm
such
over.
thing as a survivor. You're an overcomer,
Yes,
because survivor means you're still living in that past, and you have overcome that. And now you're actually helping others to overcome their past and overcome their stories, right? Um,
yes.
so walk us through a little bit of your book.
The book is, wow. There's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of pain. There is some laughter in the book as well. Um, and there is victory.
Yeah.
There's scenes where um, I'm actually helping you, the reader who's reading the book, showing you how to overcome. Things may not, people say things that are not always it's not always what it looks like. And that is the truth. I really don't want to give the book away, but it's not it's not what it looks like. I'm
Give us
telling you, I'm telling you about the things that my mom has done to me. What a happy face, and some of you are like, how can you be happy about somebody taking an extension cord and hitting you so hard to where it cuts your skin, to where you can either see the white, people say I'm gonna bust your head to the white meat, like literally take an extension cord and cut you to where you see the white meat of your skin.
yeah.
And if you can use your imagination, the 3D vision of your imagination, and see the little bitty holes from the white meat and blood protruding out.
Yeah.
I mean, you've watched the Passion of the Christ, but for me, it wasn't like that. She made us actually take the pillows off the couch. She made us actually unzip the cushions, and we have to lay them down, and we had to get naked. So it wasn't, we had clothes on or we had to go put extra clothes on. We didn't have that privilege. You had to lay down, holding and gripping onto the cushion while you actually put or sink your teeth into the cushion of that couch while she is literally beating your behind.
And one of the things, when you mention that type of, I'll say whooping, because it ain't a spanking.
No,
Yeah,
it's not.
beating. Um, that has a definite history of why. I know other people in the Black community can relate to similar stories, and it's part of it goes into, the parent shouldn't be putting that type of physical abuse on the child, but it also goes back to what they learned
Mm-hmm.
before, and their parents learned,
Yes.
and their parents learned, which goes back to a part of history that we don't even like
Know anything
reflecting
about?
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's unfortunate, but look at the woman that you've become as a result of overcoming those trials, overcoming those situations, right? And that's beautiful. That's amazing. It's powerful, right? I know that now you do a few things to help others. You want to talk about some of those things that you're doing now?
Sure. I am the CEO and founder of Unveil Transparency, where I'm actually helping not just women, but men become more transparent. Growing up, my mother was like, what goes on in this house stays in this house. Like whenever you go to Vegas, whatever goes
Yeah.
on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Um, my mother never talked about, you know, what I needed to do and, you know, to be with me growing up. I talk about a scene in the book about when I first started my cycle. Um, my mother didn't want to talk to me about that. She didn't want to talk to me about boys or sex or anything like that. She bypassed that and she let my older sister do it.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I want to stop that. I want to break the chain of, you know, when your parents can actually talk to you, because you need to know about your history. You need to know
Absolutely.
what goes on. So with the unveiled transparency, I want people to be able to be transparent and talk about things that occurred so their children would know what happened. So that is,
Yeah.
yes. So that is what basically the unveiled transparency is all about.
Yeah, that's powerful because the only way Jay-Z said it this way, say you never heal what you never reveal. Right.
Mhm.
So it's so important that we do start having those conversations, those difficult conversations. Like these days, you know, with everybody, um, we live in a social media generation. Everybody shares their highlights. At home,
Mhm.
you have to share those hardships because that's what's going to take people out of that's what's going to take those kids from thinking, oh, you know, nothing's happening over there, or I'm the only person going through. Parents need to start sharing that information with their kids. When I was your age, I went through fill in the blank. And that's why you're going through this stuff. Also, just helping them to see their way through because you know somebody said I think it was 2 days ago, and we were talking and they said how one of their family members, a younger family member, a child, had tried to commit suicide multiple times. And it's because parents are as parents, we have to be not their friends. I
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
say something. Bernie Mac said it best. We got to stop being PA parents, right?
Mhm.
And really start having those difficult conversations to help our kids through. And I love that that's what you're doing with people is giving them that transparency and allowing that transparency because that is what's going to help people release. And I love that phrase that you have, transparency is the new healing. Tell us about the Tuesday and Thursday talks because I know a lot of people are watching you and a lot of people want to know more about these Tuesday and Thursday talks that you have.
On Tuesdays, I have truthful Tuesdays where I'm just basically being real. Actually talking about topics that are the truth. You
Yeah.
know, rejection, relationships, what to do, what not to do. Um, Monday, I will be actually asking my audience, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to be truthful about? Because again, you know, you have to be transparent, you know, and also it's time out for hiding. You know, I have
Hmm.
another saying that no more hiding. It's time for you to stop hiding behind the things that you're afraid of, and you need to step in front of it and eliminate all of it.
Yeah.
Thursday is transparent Thursdays. I'm being transparent about a lot of things, a lot of issues, a lot of things that come about. So that's what I have on Tuesdays and Thursday at 9 o'clock sharp.
9 o'clock where?
9 o'clock Facebook Live, Central Standard Time.
Okay. Yeah, because you have a lot of people all over the country and all over the world that are tuning in. So we want to make sure, somebody in California don't tune in at 9 o'clock and it's like, wait, what? She's not even on. She says she's gonna be at 9 o'clock, 9 o'clock Central. Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
it's
Go ahead.
amazing. Like you said, I actually have lookers from Dubai and actually Nigeria as well. There was a few that was on the live, the lunch party. So I do. So I'd have to make sure I say that CST time.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a huge difference. Something I want to talk about. Let's talk about your journey. Let's talk about your journey to becoming an author. If you wanna go through that.
Man, this journey has been so amazing. I have to be transparent and I have to keep it real. I have to keep it 100. When my sister, um, man, told me, hey, well, she didn't even tell me anything about you. You just messaged me on Facebook. And I'm like, who is this dude? Like, who is this? And for you to tell me, hey, you have a story. Do I? You don't know me. I don't know you. And then for me to, man, allow you to have me to open up and bring out that story out of me is just amazing. Coach, Mr. Destin. Forget that. I can't say Mr. Destin. I'm going to have to say Coach. You are so amazing. And if there is anybody willing to, if you're looking for a trustworthy person, someone who, believe it or not, that knows other people, but he doesn't, man, the people that we meet coming from him, I'm going to recommend you guys to actually be transparent, share your story, man, and become, man, a family member of BOBM business. I forgot.
It's business of books mastermind. But
the family is like, it's amazing. I know this is about me, but I have to give you your props too. I'm not trying to make you cry either, but
I ain't got no onions over here.
Whatever. Man, this team and our team, I moved here to Texas, and doing this, I didn't have any family. So now I have family with everybody here, and I just love the unity that we have. So if anybody's watching this video, because I can't tell who's looking, who's watching, I'm going to recommend them to you, Coach. Because you have, man, there are so many people that are out there that want to do what they want to do for money, and you're not about that. You want to make sure that we succeed. You make us work if you're coachable. Well, regardless if you're coachable or not, he's going to put you in line and make you coachable because he wants the best out of you. And I recommend the program. I know that you wasn't asking me that, but I just have to give it back to you. I recommend the program. It works. Look at me, guys. It works.
Nah, it's definitely appreciated. But this is your weekend. Yesterday, you had your lunch. Let's go back to the beginning, right? Because what most people see is, oh, she finally got her book out. And it was easy, right?
No.
Let's talk through that journey, because there's somebody out there right now who is a potential author who has had a story in them for years, or they've been told that they don't have a story, and they know they've been through hell and high water and back, and are still standing, right? When everybody else gave up on them, they kept going themselves, and that was your story. The reason that we connected was Cassandra actually messaged me and was like, you need to talk to her. She has an amazing story. She's been through surgery. She's been through abuse. She's been through this. And I was like, okay, let me talk to her. Let's go from there. So how was it when you began writing? Like, what was it like going back through those memories, drawing out the stories, drawing out the abuse, drawing out the smiles, drawing out the bullying? What was that like?
It was very emotional to go back and have to think about those things. But once I started doing it and thinking about who I was actually doing it for, it became easy. And with your help and your guidance, it became easy, but it was hard. Sometimes you have to take a moment, especially when you're putting those memories on paper.
Yeah.
It was really difficult for me. And I had to like call you and say, Coach, can I take a break? I mean, I can't do this. And you're like, yes, you can. I have faith in you. And knowing that you had the faith in me, because nobody really had faith in me. You had the faith in me that I could do it. You saw in me what I didn't even see in myself. And man, just the tools and the techniques that you gave us, for me, it made it easy. It was hard, considering that I work in the medical field. I'm on the front line of everything with the COVID-19 going on. Yeah, I work a lot of hours. I come home. I gotta write. I gotta write for an hour. You gotta, and we set goals for ourselves. Once I started implementing those goals, it became easier. But it was tough at first, but I did it, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. I have like 5 more books in me. I'm looking forward to doing it again.
And each one of those will be bestsellers as well.
I believe
Each
it.
one of those will be bestsellers as well. So you mentioned a few things. You mentioned the goals. You mentioned setting that time aside, but you also mentioned the emotion, right? And you are being tough on this call. You trying to save face, but we know, yeah, she gonna cry in the car, y'all. She gonna cry in the car. But um talk us through, like, what kept you pushing in those days that you wanted to stop. Because what I definitely want people to understand is that on this side it looks easy, right? From people that are on the other side, they're like, well, it's easy for you. All you have to do is write, and you are a good writer. You've had it in you all along, right? Talk us through those times that you wanted to stop, that you literally were like, nah, this is too much. I'm going back through these memories. This is my childhood. And most adults don't want to revisit their childhood. They want to, I got on a nice suit, I make a lot of money, but inside they're so broken. So talk us through those times that you wanted to stop, and you got like all your family is blowing up this live video. Chrissy, uh, Pat, Reverend Pat, Dora, Robert Moore, uh, Miss Dora, SP, Saul Paul. So everybody's rooting for you. But let's talk through those difficult moments.
Man, the difficult moments. I realized that I'm not that person anymore. I'm I'm past that. I've grown. I've overcome that. A lot of people, individuals that get stuck. I didn't want to be stuck anymore. I'm reminded of the lady with the issue of blood, or the woman with the issue of blood. I realized who my mother was. My mother, my mother wasn't supposed to have me.
Mm.
I'm a miracle. She wasn't supposed to have me at all. Um,
Speak
it
on it.
hurts when you go back and just think about like the abuse and having that visual of not being accepted. But I thought about my kids. I thought about what I wanted them to know, because life is not easy.
Mm.
I mean, you know, parents, it's like they try to buy their kids everything to be their friends. We don't teach our kids how tough life is. And when our kids go through a challenging moment in their life, they can't come and talk to us.
Yeah.
By me knowing what the signs look like of wanting to take my own life, I know what it meant when my son did the same thing. You got to watch how your kids are closed up in their rooms, not coming out. That was me. My kids was my wife for me to keep pushing because I wouldn't want them to take their life. Yeah. I don't want to wake up going into a room or a closed door, which some parents allow their kids to do right now. And I'm seeing my kids with a tie hung in a closet, or walk into a bathroom or have to bust down the door where my son has actually slit his wrist.
Yeah.
I had to keep writing that book because I love kids. If I didn't want to see my kids going through that, I wouldn't want to see your kids going through it either. So I had to keep pushing. I had to overcome what I experienced to be that person God is actually making me to be.
Yeah.
For our generation, for the next generation to come once we are dead and gone. I had to embrace that. So that kept me going. Even with the crying and the tears of what happened, I had to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Why did you bring your onion over here? Oh my God.
This is, you say transparency is the new healing. I say crying is cleansing. Because I've actually seen your journey from the beginning, right? And I know how it's been difficult, but I also know how much work you put in, right? And people need to hear that. People need to know that it's not as easy as it looks. And if there's,
I work a full-time job. I also had other businesses. I have people with credit restoration, man, and I added 5 more businesses. This book was so important to me and other people, kids like that, I had to let go of 6 of them. Yeah. I had to put aside the business for a second, like helping people with credit restoration, because it takes time to write. When I tell you team, no sleep, going to bed, like my son said, him watching me like, Mom, you got to go to work in the morning. Me making sure that the goal that I set for myself in the morning on our morning accountability call, that I did it. I work a full-time job, and I make sure that I'm on those calls in the morning. Because it's like I said, it's not about me. It's not about the money of the books. It's about helping somebody else.
There you go. That's so powerful. But here's a question I got for you, right? Because you did this for your kids and for other kids, so that they understand that life is difficult, but you can make it through, right? How has it impacted your kids?
My kids didn't know what was going on. And just to hear them say that they were proud of me for succeeding with all the surgeries that I just told you guys about 80 plus surgeries. I didn't even tell you about the other stuff. I didn't even tell you about the 5 surgeries that I've had on my stomach. I didn't even tell you about the rare blood disorder that I have that's called TTP. That's another book. Being in the hospital for 3 months. having to receive 1,089,000 units of fresh frozen plasma, being on prednisone for 90 milligrams of prednisone for a long period of time, having the buffalo hump on your back, my face looking like a moon. My kids are so happy. My best friend would probably say looking like a chipmunk, but my kids, just to know that I'm here today, still here, pushing them forward, their goals, helping them with life changes, talking to them when they have a moment where they feel like they want to commit suicide. They can come to me. You know, when they feel like they can't talk to anybody else, I have that relationship with my kids that they come to me. Even if they didn't say anything, I know the signs. So I would know, I'm like, hey, we need to sit down and we need to talk as a family about what's going on. It's just having that relationship with your kids and being able for them to talk to you as well.
As y'all can see, her story is powerful, but her passion is what allowed her to push through. And her why is even bigger. Her why is her children. But not just her children, but also other children. And that's one thing that I love about your story, but also about this group, is that it's not. I've watched other people who do the same thing, and it's about numbers, right? In this group, I see the family element of it, and your family is so important to you, right? One of the so you talk about a lot inside of the book, and what most people don't see is the doubt. And some of those doubts came because you didn't want to offend others that were close to you. Talk about that. Like, talk through it, because I don't want people to say, "Oh, well, you writing a book that is throwing people under the bus." That's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. So tell me how that felt, because you are actually sharing from your life. You're sharing your truth. You're not just sharing words that you put down on a piece of paper because it looks good. You're sharing your life. So tell me about those emotions. Was it easy to share? What were some of the doubts and fears that you had to overcome even as you were writing?
The doubts and fear was like, I lost my mom. She's not here with me anymore. And I miss her.
Take your time.
I didn't want people to think that I was bashing my mother because of what she did. I wasn't.
Yeah.
I'm able to understand why she did what she did. Because one, she was protecting me. She knew that I had a purpose on my life, and she was protecting that. My mother didn't know what to do because she had those same things done to her. Mm. My mother got pregnant early at the age of 15. My mother was kicked out by her father. My mother had to live up under a house with dogs. So my grandfather did the same thing to my mother. So my mother just thought that is what's supposed to happen. But again, I was like worried about what my family would say for sharing it. I'm a very bold person. I'll be like, I don't care what you say. But I was supposed to be wearing a black sheep shirt. I couldn't find my shirt. It says Black Sheep. And that shirt represents who I was, who I felt I was in the family.
Yeah.
But I'm not the black sheep.
Black sheep becomes the goat.
You know, I'm not. Um, right now, in me doing what I did, I can care less what my family thinks. Like I said before, it's not always what it looks like.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm talking about what happened to me. You guys knew what happened. My family knew what was going on. I wasn't even allowed to go outside as a kid. I wasn't even able to go to my prom, junior or my senior year prom. I neglected keeping my sister kids and allowed my nephew to go. I've always sacrificed myself. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm free. So if you want to know what's going on in the book, buy the book.
She said, buy the book.
Buy the book, and you will actually see what's what. Yeah. I'm not bashing my mother because I'm a minister in training. It took me, I sat with my mother, with my sister for 2 weeks. And it's crazy that you hear people say, you don't miss your family members or your mom until they're gone. I know what that means. I know what that truly means now. My mother loved me with her whole heart. My mother took off from work. She didn't work because she had to take me to my doctor's appointments. I had those numerous of surgeries. Yeah. Y'all, I had 5, I can sometimes have 6 surgeries, 8, 10 surgeries within a year, sometimes more than that, 4 in 1 month.
And I can only imagine how that affected your mom being able to provide for y'all and being able to because and that's a completely different issue, but wow. That's one of the reasons I left corporate America, working for others, was because of having to sacrifice. You either sacrificing your time to move forward, or you're either giving your time to move forward, or you're sacrificing your family if you're given that time. And so I I can definitely see your mom truly loved you. And I'll say it for you. You don't have to say it. For those that think that Carolyn is bashing her mom, she's not. She is releasing her story and freeing. And if you want to be that person in the family that's like, well, she shouldn't say these things, you're being selfish, because everybody deserves the chance to free themselves from by sharing their story. And one of the things about sharing our stories is that it's not for us. We're giving our stories so that we can overcome the things that we're going through in that moment. But there's still somebody who's living in that same moment right now. And for people who have never walked a mile in your shoes, then it's like, well, it was easy. You don't know how easy or how difficult it is in somebody else's life until you physically are in their body, or like Carolyn said, read the book. Really, go pick up your copy of the book and purchase the physical copy of the book. That way she can autograph that copy of the book, because if y'all think this is the end, this is just the beginning. This is, I can truly say, just I see things that most people don't see, and I don't speak on it. But I will, let me pour into you really quick, because what I see for you, one, you have an amazing story, right? The number of surgeries, the things that you've overcome, and you haven't even revealed everything that you've been through. That's the first part of it. That is going to help so many people overcome some of those things that they're afraid of. There's people out there right now who have medical conditions and they're scared to go to the doctor
Mhm.
because they're scared. Well, what if I don't make it? You're living proof that you've made it this far, and still are going forward and still pushing to help others, right?
Yeah.
There's people right now who are, it may be kids, it may be adults who are going through abuse in their homes, right? Because you've been through abuse. You spoke briefly on abuse as a kid and the abuse that you experienced as an adult. There's women out there and men who are in abusive situations and don't know how to find their way out. And you talk them through these things. You talk to the kids about the things that you went through, the children about the things that you went through. There's schools that need you to bring you in and let you speak over those youth and let them know, because there's a lot of counselors out there, and I love what they do, but not all counselors are there for the right reasons, and you see it in the kids that are getting lost in the system consistently. Some of those kids that are getting caught up in the juvenile justice system could have easily been helped if they had heard it from the right person, from somebody that truly had the passion and truly came from a place of care, of concern. And that's exactly who you are, right? The other things that are inside of your book, outside of the surgeries, outside of the abuse, you actually go a little bit in detail about what the disease is, because as most of us, unless we're watching one of these medical shows, CSI or something like that, we're not paying attention to no medical terminology, and you break it down for people in layman's terms, right? So I highly, highly, highly recommend to anybody who is watching this, one, get with Carolyn, because the counseling services that she offers, the ministry that she has, is powerful. And she's not doing it from a place of I want your money. She's doing it from a place of I want to help you heal. I've witnessed her pouring into others. Um, I've witnessed her pouring into others consistently, right? Um, and Chrissy just keep going in on the chats. But helping people through. So
Even with
so
her, even with
uh-huh.
her, to know that, she is, man, a degree away from being Dr.
Dr. James.
James.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to be able to help her and other people, it's just so amazing. Man, and it's man, women, men, it's elderly, it's crazy. Like when I was actually sharing the first chapter of my book and people were reading it, they were inboxing me, telling me about the experiences that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, Coach, look. And you're like, it's just the beginning.
This is just the beginning.
So it is just, it is just so, it's so amazing. It's time for people to become more transparent. It's time for people to open up and stop hiding behind the scene and being salty about the things that has happened in their lives and
Yeah.
understand why. Try to look at it as a positive, and I do that in the book. I give you a positive reason why those things happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
And no, and that's powerful, because some people, if they're still stuck in that victim place, then they misplace that that abuse on others. So that's powerful. Now, how do people get involved with you? Like, and I'll let a few people, while I'm asking a few more questions. If you all have any questions for Carolyn, definitely go ahead and leave it in the chat, because I stop Reverend Pat say, stop being salty, y'all.
I have a shirt. I have a shirt that's coming out. Don't be salty. Transparency is the new healing. And I also have unmasked transparency.
There it is. How do people connect with you?
Right. I'm actually working on my website. There's something going on with me linking it to my square. If you did the Eventbrite, a lot of you decided to follow me. But if you just want to send me a message, I'm working on getting that done and getting that fixed. Hopefully, I should have that fixed by next week. I will make sure that I put it on my page. But if you want to get in contact with me right now, just send me a message through Messenger. Follow me on Truthful Tuesday and Transparent Thursdays. Just send me a message on my page.
Exactly. And what we'll do is actually leave a link for people to get a copy of your book on Amazon.
Okay.
What I will do, because I actually have some gift copies available. If anybody wants a gift copy of the ebook, then just leave a comment in the chat that says book, and we'll make sure that you get a copy of the book. But also, do me a favor, or do Miss Carolyn a favor, and actually support her. Go and purchase your copy of the physical book, and we'll leave that link as well, so that she can send you that autographed copy when they do come in, right? Miss Carolyn, it has been a pleasure. We are super proud of you, and I speak for the BOBM family. We are extremely proud of you. You dropped as #1 in multiple categories on Amazon. And that's like, what? Last year you didn't even
in
think.
less than 24 hours. What?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Last year you didn't even know that you had a book in you.
I didn't.
Just like that.
Right? I didn't. Coming soon. Screenplay, hopefully the movie. Coach, I'm ready. Working on screenplay as we speak with another team member of the BOB family. We're a family. We're networking together. You guys get their book. You don't want to be left out and say, oh, I know her. How you know her? Oh, this is her handwriting. Mm-mm. You're not going to be able, you'll be like, man, it's telling y'all, it's about to go down. And really making some moves. God is doing some amazing things and really, truly blowing my mind.
And God is just getting started with you. He's just getting started with you. All right. Well, one last thing that I want to do before we go is go ahead and give that $25 Cash App giveaway, as we always do at this time. Yeah, free $25. So if the first person who comments cash, if you have not won previously, will get a free $25 Cash App giveaway. There's no strings attached. We in tough times right now, y'all. I just want to be a blessing to somebody that needs a blessing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we do around here. You gotta give and it come back to you.
Exactly. So I want you to leave people with one last nugget that you would share with them. What's one thing that you would share with the people?
Be transparent. Transparency is the new healing. I don't even allow the things that I went through, and I don't even allow them to actually affect me. I can literally smile and talk about what I went through. Y'all, my coach has a way of actually pulling things out of you to make you cry.
You lying.
For real. Like growing up, I was taught to be tough. I was taught to like draw back the tears and hide your tears, and you better not say anything, suck it up, you know. But I'm able to release. I'm able to cry about those things now. I have, so I'm so happy that I'm able to do those things. And if you guys are thinking about being and becoming the next Amazon, man, best-selling author, you got to start somewhere. And I say start with this team. If you're really looking to actually do this, I'm going to recommend that you get with Coach. So I'm calling him Mr. Destin, Sugar.
Hey, Suge is gone. Trust me. No, a lot of people have not met Suge.
No, y'all don't want to meet Sugar.
Y'all don't want to meet that dude.
He looks short sitting down, but y'all know. But I mean, y'all become transparent. Get your stories out. Because there's somebody who needs your story.
Exactly.
Let's work. Get those stories out.
For those of y'all that are interested in getting your stories out, definitely message me. We would love to help you become a bestseller, but also help you understand the business behind the books. Because y'all may not see it, but there's a lot of scars on this head, and that's from learning and actually giving you all the truth, so that you can take your book from being a thought or an idea and into being a reality. And just like Miss Carolyn, who is now sitting here with the chopped onions over there. But listen, we like to have fun, but not only do we like to have fun, we do put in work. So,
Yes.
Carolyn, I am so proud of you. So happy for you. And trust me when I tell you, you just getting started. What we getting ready to work on with you is next level. So get ready.
I'm ready,
All right.
Coach. Let's work.
Let's go. And Miss Pat won, or Reverend Pat won the cash. So
I knew
she got
it.
the $25 cash app.
I knew it.
And we will see you next week on another episode of Book Talk Live. She'll be bringing you another best-selling author next weekend. Y'all be ready. Love y'all.
Bye.